Hi everyone. On January 28th, the Holy Orthodox Church celebrates the memory of one of the early members of the Kiev Caves in Ukraine. Now, of course, the Kiev Caves monastery has grown over the years, has shrunk over the years, and is now currently enjoying a renaissance. But of course, in its very early days, it had a monastic founder named St. Anthony. Of course, St. Anthony the Great was one of the original founders of monasticism in the Orthodox Church, and likewise this St. Anthony could be considered the founder of monasticism in Russia. But our saint today is named Ephraim, and he was the bishop of Pereyaslavl. Now, Pereyaslavl was an area around the Kiev Caves, and Ephraim is someone who, from the very earliest age, was inspired by and wanted to follow St. Anthony in his monastic struggles. Now, Prince Istiaslav is someone who, at the time, had many ups and downs with the idea of the Kiev Caves. They were not simply formed out of nothing with no problems at all, with no obstacles to overcome, but the princely caste was having difficulties with some of the monks at certain times and was quite cautious in allowing them to be established. So the devil set to work against the good prince, and through the ups and downs, though, he finally came to accede to the idea of the caves and the other things that would happen in the caves with the many monastics who would come there and just sprout forth in a wondrous way with genuine Orthodox spirituality. Now, Ephraim, as I said, from a very early age, desired this monasticism, and he was part of the boyar class, so he had relations with the prince. Now, the boyars, of course, were almost like the old Russian aristocracy. That class was slightly less than the princely class, but they certainly all knew each other, and Ephraim did have a good relationship with him and went on to the caves in order to follow St. Anthony and receive spiritual guidance from him. Now, Ephraim felt that he was somehow causing disturbance in the caves by his very presence there, and so he embarked on a very great and rigorous ascetical life in order to become worthy of being a disciple of St. Anthony. After a while, he asked for Anthony's blessing in order that he may make pilgrimage to some of the great sites of orthodoxy, to Palestine, to Greece, and finally to Constantinople. While he was there, he made a copy of the Typicon, or the order of services and way of life of the monks at the monastery of the Studium. Now, he took this and came back to the Kiev Caves, and from that point on, it became the official guide, if you will, for monastic life coming out of the caves. After a while, the existing bishop of Pereyaslavl was fallen into his own repose after a godly life, and so they needed a replacement. And at that point, Ephraim was nominated for the position and indeed was made bishop of Pereyaslavl. Now, his life as a bishop was one of great willingness to help his flock, of listening to his flock, of love for his flock, and most of all, for creating new churches. He made many new churches, probably so many that we really don't have an accurate record now. But of the three great cathedrals that he put up, all were eventually destroyed, unfortunately, by the Tartars. But that did not stop God in his wisdom and glory, giving great grace to the relics of St. Ephraim after he passed away and made them incorrupt. It goes to show that even though the times that we live in, the things that we want to do and the things that we try to do to help others, and especially the Orthodox Christian people, well, nothing lasts forever. But even though St. Ephraim was able to accomplish all of these wondrous things, and even though ultimately the things of the world end up destroying part of them, yet his legacy lives on today, and he is regarded as one of the great saints of the Kievan caves, and there are many, many, many of them. So we should not get discouraged ourselves in our everyday lives when we are trying to do things, and when we meet adversarial forces that either come from other people or from the work of the devil himself, because in that very struggle we are pleasing to God, and it's God, of course, who in the end allows our works and our own legacy to continue in his church. Bye-bye.